Could Caitlin Clark actually be coming back if the Indiana Fever make the finals? And that is something that I think a lot of people are wondering. I just saw this post here. I got tagged in it by Caitlin Clark for 3, and it says, according to this, there seems to be a legitimate pathway for Caitlin Clark to be activated. If true, I would be so happy. Under the current CBA, once a team submits its playoff roster at the end of the regular season, it's essentially locked for the postseason. The league's hardship and 7-day contract rules ends when the regular season does, so a team can't sign a replacement player or pick someone up off the street once the playoff begin. The only flexibility is if the team already has someone under contract but inactive, such as maternity leave, suspension, or on the injury list, in which case the player can be activated to replace an injured player. Otherwise, the team simply has to play shorthanded because there is no mechanism to add new players during the playoffs, so they're a rare league-approved exception.
Caitlin Clark has been sidelined for months, her rookie season derailed by injury. But now, in a shocking twist, the buzz inside the league is that if the Indiana Fever pull off the impossible and reach the WNBA Finals, Caitlin Clark will return to the court.
2 more wins, and the Indiana Fever is headed to the WNBA Finals. Let that sink in for a second. The Indiana Fever only need to win 2 more games, and they will be in the WNBA Finals. And they stole the first of 3 today against the Las Vegas Aces, beating them 89-73. A very convincing win for the Indiana Fever at the Aces in Las Vegas on their home court with their home referees. The Indiana Fever pulled off this victory, and I feel like I'm one of the only people, or at least aside from the mainstream media, who truly thinks that the Indiana Fever can pull this off.
That's right. The biggest name in basketball could be stepping back into the spotlight at the exact moment her team needs her most.
So today, lads, we're going to be talking about something that everyone is, obviously, no one's 1,000,000% sure of, but a lot of people are like questioning when it comes to Caitlin Clark is like, well, what happens if the Fever, go and make the finals? And let's just say it's a 5-game series and suddenly it's 12 days from now. You go into October and Caitlin's 1,000,000% going to be healthy in October.
And after what we just witnessed in Game 1 of the semifinals against the Las Vegas Aces, that possibility suddenly feels very real. The underdog Fever didn't just survive, they stunned the defending champions in their own building, sending shockwaves across the WNBA.
Night! Final score, Fever 89, Aces 73. Playing with house money, Indiana takes Game 1 of the semifinals in Vegas.
Respect everyone, fear no one. Doesn't exist.
But here's the real question. Can this team really climb all the way to the finals and set the stage for Clark's epic comeback? All season long, the Aces were treated as unbeatable. Led by MVP A'ja Wilson, they had the experience, the firepower, and the swagger.
If only one player on the court in this entire game looked like the most valuable player in the league, and it wasn't A'ja Wilson. In fact, is the Fever a better team than the Aces? I got the sense while watching this game that the Atlanta Dream was a better team than the Las Vegas Aces. I'm just keeping it real. And people forget this Aces team was a train wreck for a large part of the season. All right? Then they made this late run, this late push, the very same push that got A'ja Wilson her MVP.
Meanwhile, the Fever barely clawed their way into the postseason as the 6th seed. No one, and I mean no one, thought they could come into Vegas and take Game 1. Yet that's exactly what happened. Kelsey Mitchell lit up the scoreboard, dropping shot after shot and reminding everyone why she was a top 5 MVP finalist.
Mitchell, pull by, and the bucket with the left hand on the right side. Mitchell's got it at the foul line. Leaner, back of the iron, bounces and goes through.
Aaliyah Boston went toe-to-toe with Wilson, forcing her into miss after miss.
I am just so impressed. Boston just faked Wilson out of her shoes to get the basket.
And Natasha Howard dominated inside, using her strength and speed to punish the Aces in the paint.
Howard scores. Rim right. A dime from Kells. It's 23-20.
From the opening tip, the Fever looked fearless. They jumped out to a quick lead, frustrated Wilson into an 0-for-6 start, and silenced the Las Vegas crowd.
Lawson left post, and she banks it in. Bow, bow, bow to begin. 2-0 Indiana through 20 seconds. Bell passes to Howard on the baseline. Shot fake. She attacks, and Tosh puts it in off the window. 6-3 Fever. Howard gets it right wing, shovels it off. Mitchell, rise and fire. Good! Kelsey connects. Time out, Becky Hammond.
For a team that was supposed to fold under the bright lights, Indiana played with the confidence of champions, and the ripple effect was immediate. Suddenly, the impossible didn't feel so impossible anymore. Now imagine this. Indiana pulls off the series upset. They shock the basketball world and advance to the finals. And then, walking down that tunnel in her Fever jersey, comes Caitlin Clark. The same Caitlin Clark who shattered college records.
Clark races away, and the mythical mastery of Caitlin Clark continues. Iowa has conquered South Carolina.
The same Caitlin Clark who sold out arenas in her very first WNBA games. The same Caitlin Clark who's been the most talked about player in the sport, even while injured. Her return would be more than just a basketball story. It would be a ratings juggernaut. It would send ticket prices soaring. It would transform the finals into must-see television, not just for WNBA fans, but for the entire sports world. But here's where the tension rises. Clark hasn't played in months. Could she really jump into the highest stakes games of her life and deliver? Or would the pressure of a finals comeback be too much, too soon? Either way, the stage is set for a once-in-a-lifetime storyline. Let's be clear, the Fever still have a long way to go. Vegas isn't going to roll over. Wilson is a 4-time MVP for a reason, and you can bet she won't stay cold forever. Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray are proven winners who know how to respond when their backs are against the wall. But the Fever have found a formula that works. Mitchell's scoring, Boston's defense, and Howard's physicality. If those three keep playing at this level, the dream of reaching the finals is alive. And if they get there, the WNBA will face a storyline it couldn't have scripted better. Caitlin Clark returning from injury to fight for a championship in her rookie year. Think about it. The underdog Fever, written off all season, now on the doorstep of history. Clark, the face of the league, stepping back into the spotlight. The Aces, or Liberty, waiting on the other side as heavy favorites. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just basketball anymore. This is legacy. This is destiny. So let's bring it full circle. The Fever's shocking Game 1 win has changed everything. For the first time, Indiana looks like more than just a feel-good story. They look like a team capable of crashing the WNBA Finals. And if that happens, Caitlin Clark's return could turn the entire season upside down. Is she healthy enough? Can she handle the pressure? Those questions will dominate the headlines. But one thing is certain, if Caitlin Clark steps back onto the court in the finals, it will be the most anticipated moment in WNBA history. The Fever have given us hope. Clark has given us a reason to believe. And now, the entire basketball world is holding its breath. Will the underdogs complete the miracle? And will Caitlin Clark rise from the shadows to take back her crown? If you're still watching, drop Finals CC in the comments.
How do you even put into words what just happened?
I mean, we worked so hard, and I think I'm just so proud of our group for staying with it. I mean, it's just insane that like we're playing in the semifinals. I think we believed it, but there's so many people out there that didn't. And so we got another series. Decided to play some more games in Game Break, but right now we're just stoked and excited, and looking forward to the next step.
Indiana Fever just advanced to the WNBA semifinals for the first time in nearly a decade. And it all came down to Lexi Hull crushing the Atlanta Dream in a jaw-dropping finish.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. Ryan Howard. And she passed. Lexi with the game when it stops. Lexi with the game when it stops. Elton!
But here's the real question. How did a team missing 6 players, haunted by officiating controversies, and written off by almost everyone, manage to deliver the most dramatic win of the season? Let's set the stage.
Well, Stephanie White goes 44 regular season games, failing to give us a comeback victory, only to wait for when it mattered the most as the Indiana Fever come back late in the fourth quarter and defeat the Atlanta Dream. We are moving on to the semifinals. We are either facing the Aces or the Storm. Storm would be a phenomenal matchup for this Indiana Fever team. We have their number this season. Aaliyah Boston came through when she needed to. Odyssey Sims passed the ball when she needed to. Natasha Howard in double digits. Lexi Hull showing up to the party. Money Mitch.
Nearly 10 years had passed since the Indiana Fever last won a playoff series. Back then, Tamika Catchings was still the franchise's heartbeat. Natasha Howard was just starting her career, and Stephanie White was in her first stint as head coach. That was 2015. Since then, the Fever endured years of frustration, empty seats, and heartbreak. This Game 3 wasn't just about basketball, it was about breaking a curse. And the odds couldn't have been worse. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Colson unavailable, multiple others injured, 6 players down in total. No one outside the locker room gave them a chance. But instead of collapsing under the weight of bad luck and pressure, the Fever turned that into fuel. They had nothing to lose, and that desperation became their weapon. It showed right from the opening tip. Kelsey Mitchell carried the offense like a player possessed. Every time Atlanta tried to cut her off, she found a way through.
The field. Now she has. Second chance banked in by Alicia Gray. This is how quickly Kelsey Mitchell can get down the floor.
24 points on the night, 19 of them before halftime. She was the steady heartbeat that refused to stop. When defenders swarmed her lanes, she adjusted, dropping assists, blocks, and hustle plays that kept Indiana alive. Then there was Aaliyah Boston, the rising star who anchored the paint like she was born for it.
Team from the floor in Game 2. That's terrific call into Boston.
Matched against Bree Jones, she took hit after hit, yet never lost her composure. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. But the numbers don't capture how she controlled the game.
It really looked like both players took each other out.
Inside, Boston. The pass from Howard.
Every rebound was in traffic. Every assist came under pressure. Every possession she battled felt like an act of defiance.
Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Boston turns. Well defended, but 3 red jerseys around her, and Aaliyah still finishes.
Natasha Howard chipped in with relentless hustle, saving possessions that should have belonged to the Dream.
Dribbles behind the line to take the 3. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Oh my goodness. I mean, watch this rebound come off under your screen. Jordan Canada's arm.
Odyssey Sims added the fire, attacking defenders head-on, pouring in 16 points and 8 assists. A player who hadn't been with the roster all season suddenly looked like she'd been their leader all along.
As Howard could not get it to grow. Odyssey Sims, this is what head coach Stephanie White wants from Odyssey.
And it wasn't just the stars. Brianna Turner stepped in, blocking shots and locking down lanes.
It's a bucket. They look to her, and she's wanting the ball as well with the last 4 for Atlanta.
Aerial Powers, even in limited minutes, sparked life into the lineup with her energy and grit.
Big block by Powers.
Good help side by Aerial Powers.
This wasn't a one-woman show. It was an army of role players refusing to fold. Still, the Dream pushed back. Gateway Center Arena was deafening, with nearly 4,000 fans roaring, waiting for Indiana's collapse. Every possession felt heavier, every whistle stung deeper, especially after the frustrations of Game 1, where bad calls and technicals had tilted the scales. That bitterness carried into this night, fueling the Fever. And through it all, one player was quietly battling her own nightmare, Lexi Hull. All night, shot after shot rimmed out. Open looks wouldn't drop. Her rhythm disappeared, replaced by visible frustration. For a shooter who thrives on spacing the floor, it was agony. But here's where the story flipped. With under 30 seconds left, trailing by 1, Kelsey Mitchell slashed to the hoop with her signature burst, laying it in off a feed from Boston. The game tightened, the tension spiked, and Indiana clung to life.
Boston for the lead, she hits it! Indiana goes up
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's the second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Moments later, the ball swung to Hull, the same Hull who hadn't been able to buy a basket all night. She rose, released, and buried the three. Redemption in a single shot.
Green has worked for Kelsey Mitchell, but that time she gives it up to Hull. And how about that shot by Lexi Hull?
But the drama wasn't done. 7 seconds remained. Atlanta had the ball, their season on the line. Everyone expected a clean inbound and one last chance to win. But Hull read it differently. Eyes locked, instincts sharp, she lunged forward, intercepting the pass with a game-saving steal. That single play didn't just end the game, it ended a decade of waiting.
Dream 85. Howard's inbound pass stolen by Hull. Passes to Boston in the backcourt. 3 seconds to go. Sims gets it. That is fouled. The Fever are up 86-85 with 1.2 left.
The Indiana Fever were finally heading back to the semifinals. When the buzzer sounded, chaos turned to joy. 10 years of scars and silence snapped in half. Kelsey Mitchell hugged her teammates, tears of relief and pride in her eyes. Aaliyah Boston sat quietly, overwhelmed, the weight of history crashing over her. And Lexi Hull, the player who struggled all night but delivered the winning shot and steal, clutched the game ball like it was gold. Even Caitlin Clark, forced to watch in street clothes, couldn't contain her emotions. She waved towels, shouted encouragement, and after the game posted in all caps, "Fever Show." Injured or not, she was still part of this fight. Head coach Stephanie White gathered her team, reminding them that this was only step one. Waiting for them is the Las Vegas Aces, the defending champions, stacked with Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young. Becky Hammon even issued a warning. You haven't seen the real Aces yet.
Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business. But I know everybody's super excited about tonight, which I am too, but like I gotta get our hard hats on and get these guys prepped and ready for what's coming next.
That's the mountain the Fever now face. But on this night, none of that mattered. This win wasn't about advanced stats or scouting reports. It was about heart. About 6 players being out, bad officiating still fresh in their minds, and a franchise carrying a decade-long drought. It was about resilience. And when the moment demanded a hero, Lexi Hull answered. So here's the big question. Is this just the start of a Cinderella run, or will the Las Vegas Aces remind the Fever just how tough championship basketball can be? Let us know in the comments how proud you are of this team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this incredible journey.
I don't know when these people are gonna learn their lesson. It's right there in your face. It's right there in your face. It's clear to us the WNBA does not appreciate fans, don't want us there. We have been thrown out of games for a multitude of ridiculous things. We have watched these players complain and trash us all. They called half of us racist. They've called all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Now, without Caitlin Clark, the viewership has been cut in half by 50%.
The Atlanta Dream thought they could rewrite the story of the WNBA playoffs. On national television, Alicia Gray pointed into the stands at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, accusing a Fever fan of crossing the line.
Well, let's do a follow-up to Alyssa Gray getting a Fever fan kicked out of the arena. By the way, said Fever fan, it was a guy and his wife there to enjoy a nice sporting event. Now, I've got a theory that these WNBA players that's played in this league for a while, number one, we know it to be so. They're not used to actual sports fans. I believe they're used to their fans that used to come to these games before they slowly are getting eased out the door by actual sports fans. They're used to these being social events, all right? And so they're not there. They're not actually basketball fans. They're just activists.
Security rushed over, fans were escorted out, and for a moment it looked like Indiana's magical playoff run had been hijacked by controversy. But here's the truth. That story collapsed almost instantly. Eyewitnesses revealed the so-called offense was nothing more than a harmless cheer. The fans were allowed back in, the Dream's version of events didn't hold up, and social media torched Atlanta for lying.
She got a fan kicked out last night against the Indiana Fever, only for the fan to speak their piece to the security. Security found out, oh, you didn't say anything at all, actually. Yeah, come back to your seat. Let me just wipe that seat off for you. Here, please, have a seat, ma'am.
While the Dream scrambled to control the narrative, the Indiana Fever let their play do the talking. Because just days later, Indiana didn't just silence the Dream's accusations. They silenced their season. With Caitlin Clark out, with Sophie Cunningham sidelined, with their roster battered, the Fever still pulled off an 87-85 thriller in Atlanta. Aaliyah Boston's game-winning layup with 7 seconds left didn't just end the series, it ended the excuses.
Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
When Alicia Gray singled out that Fever fan, it was supposed to send a message. The implication was clear: disrespect Atlanta's star and you'd be thrown out. But instead of rallying support, it blew up in the Dream's face. Eyewitness accounts spread fast. The so-called heckle was actually encouragement for Lexi Hull. "You're good, Lex. She's not even trying anymore." That's what set Gray off. No slurs, no threats, just standard playoff chatter.
I'm gonna go ahead and read it out loud. Basically, this anonymous individual was sitting close to the incident and ended up giving up everything that was said. So let's go ahead and see what this individual typed. They said the guy in the black hat yelled to Lexi Hull, who was running to guard Gray, and said, "You're good, Lex. She's not even trying anymore." Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Gray lost her S and said some very nasty words to the guy and the people next to him. The guy did not say anything out of line whatsoever. They were let back shortly after. When asked what happened, he said they said it was protocol to remove the fan to allow the player to calm down. Really? Gray had a bad night, and there is no excuse for the things she said or the way she acted. Oh, man.
Security even apologized and escorted the fans back to their seats. The narrative cracked right there. If the comment had been serious, those fans never returned. And as the story unraveled, the spotlight shifted. Clips of the incident went viral. Commentators questioned why a playoff team was more focused on policing fans than winning games.
You said something mean to me. You said something mean. You said I couldn't make... And then Alicia Gray goes straight to Ryan Howard. "Alicia, it's okay. It's okay, Alicia. Don't worry about it." I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't last more than 5 minutes in one of these WNBA arenas. I gotta be honest. I would not last long at all in one of these WNBA arenas. They would hate me. They as soon as tip off, him, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He said I can't jump. Get him out of here. He said I can't dribble. Get him out of here. I'm sorry. Alicia Gray getting this fan kicked out, and of course, the internet went ablaze.
By the next morning, it wasn't the Fever's supporters under fire. It was the Dream's professionalism. Meanwhile, Indiana kept building momentum. Game 3 in Atlanta was win or go home. Caitlin Clark was out for the season. Sophie Cunningham was sidelined. Depth was an issue. On paper, Indiana should have folded. Instead, they played like a team with nothing to lose. From the opening tip, the Fever sent a message. Kelsey Mitchell carried the offense, attacking off the dribble, burying threes, and keeping Indiana alive whenever Atlanta tried to pull away.
2. Mitchell over the Boston screen.
And that was tough, her hands. But going back to that ball screen here, little movement in the first part of that screen by Aaliyah Boston.
She finished with 24 points, fearless, efficient, and locked in when it mattered most. Aaliyah Boston set the tone inside. Every possession she carved out space, grabbed rebounds, and battled against Atlanta's bigs. She didn't just put up numbers, she kept Indiana steady in the most hostile environment they'd faced all season. 14 points, 12 rebounds, and as we'd soon see, the most important basket of the Fever's decade. But what truly separated Indiana was their role players. Natasha Howard turned in a gritty two-way performance, disrupting the Dream's offense while scoring in the paint.
Circles behind the line to take the three. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Oh my goodness. I mean, watch this rebound come off under your screen. Jordan Canada's arm.
Lexi Hull knocked down shots and dove for every loose ball.
My ball screen has worked for Kelsey Mitchell, but that time she gives it up to Hull. And how about that shot by Lexi Hull?
Odyssey Sims orchestrated the pace, setting up teammates and delivering clutch assists.
And now Sims gets it over to Howard, challenged by Hillman, even though she has the 3 fouls.
Third quarter, the Indiana Fever have come out with an edge. Here, Atlanta turns it over. Odyssey Sims take it over. Pass to Howard for the bucket.
And even from the bench, the energy was relentless. Every defensive stand, every hustle play, the Fever bench erupted like they were playing too.
Big block by Powers.
Good help side by Ariel Powers.
Atlanta, by contrast, looked distracted. Yes, they traded buckets. Yes, Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray had moments. But when the game tightened, their composure cracked. They couldn't shake the cloud of controversy. They couldn't match Indiana's urgency. And then came the finish. With less than 10 seconds left, tied at 85, the Fever had one chance. Odyssey Sims fed the ball inside to Aaliyah Boston. The rookie-turned-franchise cornerstone powered through contact and banked in the game winner with 7.4 seconds left.
Boston for the lead, she hits it! Indiana goes up!
Boston gets it, Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's the second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
The arena went silent. On the Fever bench, chaos. Players leapt from their seats. Caitlin Clark, sidelined in street clothes, pumped her fists and screamed with the rest of the team. Sophie Cunningham, also injured, joined the celebration. Atlanta still had a final possession, but Indiana's defense swarmed, forced a tough shot, and secured the rebound as the buzzer sounded. Final score, Fever 87, Dream 85. It wasn't just a win, it was history. For the first time since 2015, the Indiana Fever advanced in the WNBA playoffs. The team stripped of its superstar, written off as too young, too inexperienced, and too undermanned, had just proven everyone wrong. And what about Atlanta? Their season ended with embarrassment. They weren't remembered for their play. They were remembered for ejecting fans and losing composure. In the end, the scoreboard told the only story that mattered. The final buzzer told the truth. Fever 87, Dream 85. Aaliyah Boston stood at center court, surrounded by teammates who refused to let injuries, doubt, or distraction end their season. Kelsey Mitchell, who carried the offense all night, embraced her coach as the crowd of stunned Dream fans looked on. And in the stands, Indiana supporters, the same ones targeted days earlier, screamed louder than ever.
Fever go! Bow, bow, bow! Let's go! Fever! Go Fever!
Let's go Fever! Fever 3!
Think about the symbolism. The Atlanta Dream tried to paint Fever fans as a problem, yet those very fans were the heartbeat of Indiana's run. They never backed down. And in the end, it was the Dream's credibility that collapsed, not Indiana's. For the Fever, this wasn't just a playoff win. It was a statement. Their first postseason series victory since 2015. Their proof that even without Caitlin Clark, even without Sophie Cunningham, they could fight, claw, and close out a thriller on the road. For Atlanta, the narrative is harsher. A season overshadowed by a single lie, capped off by a crushing defeat. Instead of a story about resilience, their legacy of this series is distraction. So here's the question. Is this the moment the Fever announce themselves as true contenders? Or will the weight of history catch up to them in the next round? One thing is certain, the scoreboard never lies. If you're still watching, drop Fever Playoff in the comments to let everyone know you believe in this Fever team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we cover every twist in this unforgettable playoff run.